Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle.
She's the modern day princess.
She's a great catch for Harry.
She's like a Hollywood star, isn't she? He is the happiest I've ever seen him.
She is the most insecure person I have seen in the public eye in a long time. That is why everything had to be perfectly curated. Who the hell picks berries in a white cashmere blouse and white pants?
Meghan Markle's Hollywood fairy tale is unraveling fast, and the fallout is getting messy. Just a few years ago, she was hailed as a bold new voice, the Duchess turned media mogul ready to conquer the industry on her own terms. But now, the spotlight's turning harsh, and the A-listers who once stood by her are stepping back fast. Sources say Tyler Perry, who famously offered her refuge during the royal exit, is now keeping his distance. Even Oprah, once her most vocal supporter after that bombshell interview, has reportedly cut her off. So what happened? Why is every celebrity friend Meghan was begging to have now turning their back on her? Join me today as we dive deep into Meghan's latest drama as I show you the shocking ways Oprah and Tyler Perry came to find out Meghan is not to be trusted.
In the pursuit of joy.
I can't take it anymore. Get out, get out, get out. Uncle, make it end. Make it end. What is this? Guys, I feel like I'm a very accepting person. Truly, I want to like something about her. I'm searching for something to like about her. And it's so hard because she suffers from such a rare disorder of being unable to just be a human. Do you know what I mean?
Now, Meghan Markle's Hollywood downfall is unfolding like a real-life drama, and the plot twists just keep coming. Once embraced as a modern-day icon, Meghan now finds herself at the heart of a public reckoning that's shaken her brand to its core. The Duchess, who once commanded attention from global media and the A-list elite, is now watching her inner circle crumble and her once promising media ventures fizzle into silence. It wasn't long ago that Meghan was surrounded by powerful allies. Tyler Perry opened his home to her. Oprah Winfrey gave her a global platform. But now, those same names are reportedly distancing themselves. Whispers of strained relationships and behind-the-scenes discontent are growing louder, with industry insiders hinting that Meghan may have overplayed her hand. The media empire she set out to build with bold claims of redefining narratives and reclaiming control has hit a wall. The Spotify deal ended with a thud. Her Netflix presence has grown quiet, and public trust she claimed she had, well, it's eroding fast. Critics argue that behind the polished image was a strategy too focused on victimhood and not enough on substance. This backlash isn't just about a failed podcast or a dropped deal, it's about credibility, influence. And what happens when the court of public opinion turns against someone who once seemed untouchable? To make things worse for Meghan, her empire that she moved continents to build is showing serious cracks, and financial questions are swirling. Deals are falling through, and projects once hyped as groundbreaking have all quietly fizzled. With Spotify pulling the plug and Netflix reportedly reconsidering future collaborations, insiders are starting to question whether the Meghan brand still holds weight in Hollywood. It's a stunning reversal for someone who once captivated both the press and the public. Her credibility is under fire, and so is her future in the entertainment world. Is this the end of Meghan's Hollywood era, or just the beginning of a new battle for relevance? One thing's for sure, Meghan's glitz is fading and the stakes have never been higher. And a clear example of this was the recent BET Awards. You see, the BET Awards were supposed to be a celebration, but instead, they became the stage for a bombshell moment that sent Hollywood buzzing. Meghan Markle found herself at the center of a very public reckoning, and the messenger was none other than Tyler Perry. Perry took to the stage for what was meant to be a heartfelt tribute, but what came next left the room in stunned silence. "You can't build a palace on unpaid bills," he declared. The crowd gasped. This wasn't just a clever line, it was a clear, calculated statement, and it landed like a slap. Sources say Perry's words weren't off the cuff, they were the result of years of simmering tension. Insiders claim that despite Perry's deep generosity, Meghan never repaid the financial support he extended during one of her most turbulent moments. That silence, that lack of reciprocity, may have pushed one of her strongest allies to finally speak out, and he did so on the biggest stage possible. But that wasn't the only chilling silence echoing through the night. Oprah Winfrey, once Meghan's loudest champion, has reportedly gone radio silent. Her team at Harpo Productions hasn't uttered Meghan's name in months. A shocking shift for someone who helped shape Meghan's media narrative with that explosive 2021 interview. This sudden distance from two of Hollywood's most powerful figures sends a clear message. Meghan's star is dimming and fast. Once courted by the elite, she's now facing cold shoulders and closed doors. Her transformation from media darling to persona non grata is unfolding in real time, and the consequences could be career-defining. Now, what most people don't know is that for a long time, Meghan was craving to have big-name celebrity friends like Oprah. You see, Meghan and Harry's 2018 royal wedding wasn't just a romantic royal affair. It was a carefully curated, star-studded spectacle. The guest list was less about lifelong friends, more like a who's who of Hollywood power players: Oprah Winfrey, George and Amal Clooney, and a parade of A-listers filled the pews at St. George's Chapel. But according to royal biographer Tina Brown, the whole thing was less about celebrating with old confidants and more about strategic positioning. In her bombshell book, The Palace Papers, Brown didn't hold back. She claimed the guest list was a portrait not of Meghan's intimate circle, but of the friends she most wanted to recruit. Translation: Meghan was building her future empire, one famous handshake at a time. And here's where it gets even juicier. Tyler Perry wasn't even part of that original Royal Day inner circle. His name was nowhere near the velvet ropes in 2018. In fact, Perry only entered the picture after Meghan and Harry's dramatic royal fallout, when the couple found themselves isolated, criticized, and searching for allies. That's when Perry stepped in. He gave them his Beverly Hills mansion to live in. He provided private security when no one else would. He gave them a safe haven and a platform. And that act of loyalty earned him more than just gratitude. Eventually, Perry was named godfather to their daughter, Lilibet. That title isn't just ceremonial, it's deeply symbolic. It marked his elevation from Hollywood acquaintance to trusted inner circle. But now, with Perry publicly distancing himself and calling out what many see as betrayal, it raises the question: was it ever truly friendship or just strategy from the start? To make things worse, Meghan is now being quietly blacklisted by Hollywood's top PR firms, with insiders citing a growing term in the industry: the Markle risk factor, meaning she's no longer considered a safe bet, she's a liability. It's a staggering fall from grace. Her Netflix deal, once pegged at $100 million, has under-delivered in ways no one saw coming. The animated series Pearl was scrapped before it ever saw the light of day. Her docuseries, intended as a signature piece, was widely panned for lacking substance and charisma. Then there was her $20 million Spotify deal, which fizzled out after just 12 episodes of a podcast that failed to connect with audiences or critics. Spotify executives didn't mince words. Behind closed doors, they called the deal a flop and expressed open frustration with Meghan's performance. And the damage didn't stop there. Her latest teaser for a podcast comeback landed with a deafening thud, barely making a ripple, let alone a splash. Hollywood has taken notice. Her biggest allies are cutting ties, and it's personal for most of them. Now, behind the scenes, her team is in turmoil. PR insiders say morale is at an all-time low. There's been a wave of staff turnover, and the focus has shifted from pushing new projects to full-blown damage control. Meghan's once polished public image is now a messy brand drowning in bad optics, broken deals, and whispers of manipulation. But perhaps the most damning development is the scrutiny around her nonprofit, the Archewell Foundation. Financial watchdogs and nonprofit law experts are sounding alarms over potential self-dealing, inflated consulting fees, and expenses that don't quite add up. Some reports suggest the foundation looks wealthy on paper, but behind the scenes, it may be struggling to stay afloat. Delayed reimbursements and questionable claims have sparked growing speculation about the legitimacy of Meghan's philanthropic operations. What was once the image of a misunderstood, bold outsider breaking free from royal constraints is now morphing into something far less flattering. The word inside Hollywood is that Meghan Markle is no longer viewed as inspiring or misunderstood, but as calculating, unreliable, and dangerously self-serving. In an industry where reputation is everything, Meghan's may be beyond repair. The doors are closing, the spotlight is dimming, and the empire she fought so hard to build is buckling under the weight of its own ambition. Meghan Markle's transformation from royal rebel to Hollywood power player was once the stuff of media legend, but now it's looking more like a cautionary tale. What began as a bold reinvention has spiraled into a PR nightmare, with Meghan's credibility under fire and her once glittering support system slipping through her fingers. She was once seen as a symbol of strength, a woman who walked away from the royal institution and dared to write her own rules. With multi-million-dollar deals, headline-making interviews, and a growing media brand, it seemed like Meghan was untouchable. But fast forward, and the landscape has shifted dramatically. Ally after ally is pulling away. High-profile names once firmly in her corner have fallen silent. And behind the scenes, insiders are whispering about dysfunction, high staff turnover, and a growing air of desperation. Then there's the looming financial cloud. Her Archewell Foundation is under the microscope, with watchdogs raising red flags over alleged self-dealing and questionable expense patterns. What was once marketed as a platform for social change is now facing serious questions about transparency and intent. In an industry built on image and trust, Meghan's brand is faltering and fast. The narrative has shifted from misunderstood trailblazer to unreliable operator. And in Hollywood, when the trust is gone, the doors don't just close, they slam. So now the spotlight dims and the stakes rise. Can Meghan pull off a second act and regain control of her story? Or has her carefully crafted narrative unraveled beyond repair? One thing is certain, the fairy tale is over, and whatever comes next will define Meghan Markle not by what she says, but by what she does. Anyways, what do you think about this Meghan drama? Let me know your opinions in the comments, and don't forget to check out our other videos for even more shocking celeb tea. Till next time, bye guys.